and I am talking with Gail Work right now. And I am, hi Gail.
Hello.
Hi, go ahead and tell me what you're going to talk about today.
Yes, I'd like to talk about observing elections at the county central headquarters.
Right.
This is a way of being able to see a lot that's going on across the entire county rather than observing at just one single poll location. So what's the purpose of observing at central headquarters? Well, number one, you're going to be seen by all of the internal staff in the elections office, and they're going to notice that a member of the public is actually taking time to keep track of what they're doing. So hopefully that will help to raise their standards, and it also increases transparency in the county when citizens show up to do this kind of work.
That makes a lot of sense.
Another reason to observe at county headquarters is because it gives you the greatest opportunity to see the most amount possible. You're going to be able to listen to trouble calls coming in from all across the county at once. And how is it that you're able to collect this information? Well, the first step is every county is going to have different hotlines where they receive calls on election day. They may have a hotline for the poll workers to call into. They may have a hotline for the information technology calls for electronic voting systems. And they may also have a separate way of receiving calls from the voters. So it's possible that the county may have as many as 3 different hotlines. Every county is a little bit different. So the first thing to do is to call the county headquarters before election day and ask them how they receive trouble calls on their hotline. One location or maybe more than one location, how do they get incoming calls? That's really the first question.
How would you find that number to call?
Yeah, so the number to call would be just contact your local county election headquarters.
Okay.
Find out how they receive their hotline calls.
Okay,
where those calls would be located.
Okay, so just do like a search for, like, for example, we live in Marin County election headquarters, and you probably follow the link and find a phone number to call. Okay.
Yeah, just find the phone number. I don't think you can find this information on the web. You'll need to make a phone call and talk to someone live.
Okay, so you're going to have to search it out a bit. Okay.
Yeah, you need to do a little bit of research to figure out where you need to locate yourself on election day.
Okay.
The next step is you want to call election headquarters and tell them that you'd like to come in and observe as a voter. And you have a number of options of how to do that. You can either say, you can go to your local party if you're affiliated with a political party.
Right.
You can tell them that you'd like to be an observer for them and ask for their permission. If you get their permission to be an observer for the party, that's probably the strongest standing that's going to get you into the most resistant election office out there. A lot of the offices are happy to have observers. Some are very resistant. So if you're representing your local party, that's going to give you good standing. Alternatively, you can go to a community organization that you belong to, and you can ask them if you can observe for them. A group like the League of Women Voters, Common Cause, People for the American Way, groups like that, you can ask if you can be an election observer and report back to them what you find. So once you decide how you're going to represent yourself, then you call and say, I'm Gail Work, I am representing the Democratic Party in my county, and I'd like to come as an observer. The person on the other end of the phone says, fine. Then you ask for their email address. Tell them that you'd like email confirmation on that. And this is important in case you run into resistance from somebody else. So it's good to get email confirmation if you can.
Oh, so bring the email confirmation that you're actually representing this organization?
Yeah, and if you can't get with an organization, just go in as an independent voter. So
that's going to be kind of your credentials. That's going to allow people to know that you're not just a rogue person that's there to disrupt the elections.
That's right. You want to go in with a very respectful attitude. That's absolutely the way that you want to relate to the elections office. It's okay to ask lots of questions, but certainly you want to be as civil and respectful as possible.
Yeah, and that was echoed in the previous elections integrity bit, is that they were saying dress well, be well mannered. If somebody, even if you know that what they're doing is incorrect, just back off and make a notation that they've made a violation.
And to be a really good observer, you need to question your assumptions, because a lot of times what they're doing is right and you really don't know.
Okay.
So you need to ask the best possible questions, like, what am I seeing here? What's she doing over there? And if you're sitting at hotline and listening to calls coming in, and they're talking, let's say they're talking about broken voting machines that aren't working, it's okay to ask and find out, you know, where's the poll where that's happening and how many machines are down and who's going to fix it. Because at one point I was observing and I found out that the company that provides our voting systems, Hart InterCivic, was being set. So Hart InterCivic was actually servicing those machines instead of the county employees, which made me very uncomfortable.
Right.
So that's the good thing to observe, is who's going out to service those machines, how long were they there, and if it's a vendor that's going out, are they with a county employee? Because if they're not, then who knows what they could be doing to those machines.
Okay. So just
take good notes. You know, take a notebook with you, a pen. If you can bring a friend along, it's always good to have more than one person, so you can both take notes together. You can discuss what you're seeing to figure out how good your observations are.
And you can have some camaraderie, right?
You have camaraderie. You can discuss situations together to kind of come up with a plan for how to respond.
Okay.
So the question is, what are you looking for? Well, during the election, from about 6 a.m. until about 8 p.m. Here in California at least, that's about the regular time when the election's running. And then after 8 p.m. is when all the voting machines start coming back to central headquarters in trucks. So you start seeing all the delivery of the voting machines as well as the paper ballots. And so this is kind of the next phase that goes up until sometimes 2 in the morning. It's very good to have shifts, so you have a couple people that are watching during the day and then a couple people that watch after hours.
Right.
And according to Beth Harris from Black Box Voting, the most important time to observe is the late hours, like after 10 p.m., between, say, 10 and midnight and 2 a.m. is when, if there's going to be funny business that happens, that might be when it happens when there are fewer people around.
Okay.
So what are you going to be looking for? In particular, you want to look at the memory cards. How do they handle the memory cards that are taken out of the machines? That is the actual electronic record of the tally, and that's going to be used to come up with the final count. So the way that the memory cards are handled is a very good thing to track. And don't expect to be an expert in any of this. Feel comfortable with asking very basic questions.
Right.
What's happening to the memory cards over there? What do they do with them over there? Just track the whole thing to see the chain of custody for the memory cards.
Okay.
And in addition, you can also see what they do with the paper ballots. When the paper ballots come in, how secure are they? Do they use numbered seals? And are those numbered seals still sealed, or are they open?
Is there some good websites that you can refer people to so they can see like what the chain of custody is and what the protocol is?
I would say Black Box Voting is probably the best resource.
Well, we can put that link below in this video. The Black Box. I have watched those. Those are actually pretty good videos. They don't really explain as much. I mean, they're showing the tabulation happen. So
right.
So there's lots and lots of areas to watch when you're inside election headquarters. There's many, many activities going on after election day as well. So watching on election day is really important. And then also coming back and seeing how they're handling the canvass period. The canvass period happens for about 28 days after the election. And that's when they're counting out all of the absentee ballots. They're dealing with provisional ballots that may have been voted on at the polls. They are trying to reconcile the numbers because they're going through their office. So there's lots and lots more that can be done if you have a team of people that can come and show up, for that time after election as well.
Okay.
I think that's all I had to say for now, but anyone that can get in and observe, you're doing a great service to your country, and we all appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Gail, and I appreciate your dedication to democracy and your insights in how to be a really effective poll observer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that was my interview with Gail Work on observing the central tabulators, and I hope that there'll be some additional information below. Please subscribe to our channel if you like this content, and we are looking forward to you watching our next video. Bye.